Ladies and gentlemen, as always, heavy emphasis on the ladies. Thank you, lady, for tuning in each and every
International
week.
Women's Day for a couple of days ago.
That's right. It was Happy International Women's Day on Friday. Today is now Tuesday, so we're glad to see that in the past.
Yep.
But ladies, congratulations on that day. Now back to regular programming. It's actually World Plumbers Day this week, so keep your calendars ready for that
Congratulations, mate.
one. But thank you all for tuning in yet again. Franklin, first and foremost, as always, how was your weekend, if you remember?
Yes, good. I actually do remember this time. Most of the time, you put me on the spot and I forget, but...
It is the toughest question of the show.
Yeah, Friday we went to the pub, the local, the Hive.
Yep, the Beehive. We were there.
And we watched the Swannies Hawthorn game on the rooftop, which was, besides the outcome, a pretty good time.
Yep.
And then Saturday I can't even remember the rest of the days
I know. It's a tough question, honestly.
And yourself?
Well, thanks for answering half of it for me. Yeah, Friday, it's the long weekend here in Melbourne, and part of being in the CMFU with my union brotherhood, I had the day off as well. It's on Tuesday, so I played golf today. Yesterday, just sort of lounged around on the couch watching some telly. And Sunday, I think I was just watching the league at home. Actually, Dad was down, so we went to the pub again.
Yep.
Did a few bits and pieces, but nice and laid back, mate.
Life of a podcaster, playing golf on a Tuesday, and yeah, it's nice.
Actually, went out to. Did I tell you I went to that joint in Fitzroy, that new Guernica?
No.
Oh, mate. So
I know what it is, the club.
Yeah. So me and Tim were walking around Collingwood, and everything was closing. So we were just like, fuck, we just got to find a joint that's open. We went to this one pub, can't remember what it was called. It was across from the Birmingham Hotel, and they're like, yeah, mate, it's last drinks. And I was like, fuck, well, let's just go. Well, he's like, all right, we'll just walk to the very end where the tram loops around in Fitzroy, and we'll just get one back. I was like, yeah, fair enough. And then as we're walking, you can just hear some like music playing, like, tss, tss, and I was like, oh yeah, what's
right
this?
Up your alley.
And Tim was like, oh no, that's near Guernica. I've been here before. I was like, what is it? He goes, it's a club. Are you gonna hate it? And I was like, well, fuck, what other option do we have? So we walked in there, and yeah, just for about 4 hours, honestly, it could have been the same song. I had fun though. Like,
Probably was.
Obviously not really up my alley these days, but could see Tim was starting to get. He could have stayed all night, I reckon.
Was it just you two?
It was just the two of us.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but no, it was a fun time. Yeah, Jess was long gone. She crashed out, had too much to drink. She actually got home, passed out, forgot to leave me the keys out. No, that's a whole other story. But no, it was good, mate. A good weekend. So
very good. And obviously we had the return of full-time NRL and part AFL.
Yeah, I mean that was the NRL. To be fair, was good. I thought for the most part. But yeah, we'll just keep getting this close to getting a full round of Aussie rules, which I'm looking forward to. So
yeah, back into it this week. So do you want to start with the AFL recap?
Yeah, well, I mean, we can start off with the Swans game. We both watched every second of it.
Yep.
I thought Swans were competitive, but not up to their standard of last year. Obviously, you're not going to expect that round one. They started off hot when Chad Warner come out, kicked that goal.
Yeah.
They were doing what they normally do. They roll forward, their mids sort of just stream through and look long, but I couldn't even tell you who kicked the goal from the Swans forward line.
Yeah, it was just one of those, again, another one of those Swans matches where it just felt like something was missing. And I don't know what it was, but maybe it was a really good key forward to step up and take some big marks in forward 50 and kick, a handful of goals or, 3+ goals, something like that. And it just, they were lacking again. It felt like the first half was pretty competitive and back and forth, but then Hawthorn, I thought, showed great maturity compared to last year where they just took it up a notch and Swans couldn't go with them.
Their half-back line was I knew they were going to be good regardless with the new signings, but fuck, they just seemed to just mark everything, swallow it up and get it out so quick. Will Day was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mind you, had about fucking 80 free kicks given to him.
Yeah, he's the new free kick day, Cos. It's free kick day.
He got a fucking few, eh?
Yeah.
He had a few, but like I weren't taken away from Hawthorn. They were just good. Fucking Sicily, I don't think lost a contested possession.
Yeah.
Fucking when he went forward, kicked goals. Hawthorn were very impressive.
I think Swans missed I didn't think they would miss it a huge amount, but I think they did, in hindsight, miss the delivery of Goulden into forward 50.
Yeah.
Like, it's been the story of Swans for years is when they play this long kick and try and take pack marks, they just get dominated.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a key forward who's gritty or can, contest these big packs. So their back line just dominated, took those intercept marks. Sis, pretty dominant, went up forward, kicked a few.
As soon as Heaney got the tag or whatever, like he was really good in the first quarter, but like in the second half of the game, I struggled to find where he was and what he was doing. Yeah. And that's not taking anything away from us. I still think he's a top 5 player in the comp. I think Warner and Heaney are both in the top 5 players of the comp, but I feel like separates what someone like Nick Dacos to Heaney is like when Dacos gets tagged, he might have a little bit less usage, but he's still around it plenty, whereas I honestly couldn't find Heaney on the ground on the second half.
Yeah.
And against big teams in big games, like that's where you need your players like that just to fucking dominate still.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what happened in the granny last year, and it was a little bit not worrying signs early. It's round 1, but Hawthorn looked better than how I presumed him to start. So
yeah, Warner was probably the shining light for the Swannies. He was by far the best player.
Yep.
Grundy obviously wasn't 100% coming into that game, and it showed. Like Meek was pretty impressive in the ruck. He dominated.
Patton. Ben
Oh
Patton,
yes, for the Swans.
It was a rough first game for him.
I think he lost his confidence straight away with those couple of mistakes.
Got touched up a bit. But to be fair though, like not to give it straight to the Swannies players, like fucking what did Watson and Ginnivan would have had 5 touches between the two of them.
Yeah, Wicks did really well. Like you got to give the credit to Wicks.
Right. I think there's players sort of across the ground that did. Matt Roberts, I thought was fucking great.
Good, yeah.
But I mean, all fucking Swans weren't as good as we thought they were going to be, and Hawthorn won pretty comfortably. So
yeah, I think we need to give McCartan a bit more time up top.
Yeah.
Just to settle into how to play and get back to the tempo and things like that. I thought Amadi showed like glimpses where he was okay, but again, not putting 4 quarters together, and Hawthorn just too good.
Yeah, beating Sydney in Sydney is pretty commendable. So no, hats off to Hawthorn. They were very sharp round 1.
Yep. Good start by Hawthorn, and then obviously we'll touch on the Collingwood versus GWS game on the Sunday. Orange Tsunami.
They're gonna win the comp.
Drowned some Magpies.
They're gonna win the comp. They're 100%. I liked them early, and I liked them for top 4. I said I think they're my pick for the comp, and I know it's round 1, but I wrote them off last week in the pod because I said they'd win by a goal. During the week when they had Hogan, Stringer, and Tom Green pull out, I sort of thought, I can see Collingwood winning this now by within a goal just because of how well they looked in the pre-season. But fuck, they come out and just have, I mean, it was a tie, and Collingwood didn't convert a lot of their chances. Like I said, I think halfway through the third quarter, they had the same amount of scoring chances and had more inside 50s, but couldn't convert because the story as old as time, fucking Collingwood's forward lines just fucking...
Just let him down a bit again.
There or not there. Bobby Hill comes out, fucking, kicks a goal early, looks sharp, goes missing. I thought Mychek was their best forward, and I would never say that.
Yeah. I don't know. They just looked a step behind most of the time against GWS. I don't know if it was
Sam Taylor had 50 marks.
Yeah, the legs or the defensive. Like Darcy Moore definitely didn't have his best game again.
Yeah.
Which is a big talking point coming into this year that he was going to be improved and back to that sort of 2023 form. But yeah, I didn't think he had an amazing game.
I know why they lost. There's only one reason.
And they also did it without Briggs too, who went down in I think it was quarter 1, wasn't it? It was pretty early.
That was pretty brutal.
And they don't even really have a backup ruckman. They have, Lockie Keith, but he's not a star. Darcy Cameron's like, did he get All-Australian last year? If not, he was pretty close.
I'm honestly not sure.
He might have. He was top handful of
he
rucks.
was Collingwood's best player outside of Dacos. So.
Yeah, 100%. So when you consider those 3 that you said were already out, plus Briggs going down, pretty impressive to just dominate later like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I loved it, to be honest. I love everything about the Giants. I love how Callum Ward retired and then his missus was like, nah, go back out there and fucking win a flag. And he's just come out. He looked good on the weekend too, the 40-year-old fossil Callum Ward. But yeah, I'm enjoying to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the season for the Giants. Hopefully, if they stay injury-free, they're going to be fucking hard to beat. Yeah,
it was nice to see Callaghan have a big game too, because there's a lot of shitbagging in the media with him turning down that massive contract at Saners, and he delivered for GWS, and that's what you want. If you're going to pay a guy, big money, you want him to deliver, and to come out like that round 1 was pretty impressive.
Nah, he was good. I think they were great, man. So
yeah, it was a nice welcome back to the AFL. Didn't have any bets or any action on the AFL this week, which was nice just to be able to watch as a fan. And then full week this week, which we're going to get into a full preview. But before we do, we are going to recap the NRL quickly as well. So I think the first game of the week was the Broncos versus the Roosters, which was amazing to watch.
Yeah,
especially for you. Yeah. What did you think of the Broncos Roosters? Obviously, the game finished about, I don't even know what the exact score was, but it was about 42 points difference or something like that.
Honestly, I could sit here and try to be nice about it, but I sat here last week as a bit of a laugh, but knowing the Roosters are going to be fucked this year. They've still got some good names on paper, obviously, but to come out against the Broncos and just get fucking obliterated by 40. I mean, 38 technically, but when I posted the meme on the Instagram page, they were down by 42. But poor Teddy tried you can tell, fucking lower the odds for his Dally M because he was just trying to do everything
Oh,
for his
yeah.
team. Angus Crichton was okay.
I didn't think he was great. I think he was just fine.
But he fucking has 47 offloads somehow. Like, he just does something with the ball, whereas, like, every time they'd go for a tackle, 8 to 10 metres tackle.
I thought their best player was probably Teddy, but that Robert Toyer, he was pretty impressive in centre.
Yeah, he was. And he was sitting here fucking writing him off how, like, just some no-name spud was playing with Dominic Young. That's
Yeah.
why I fucking cashed in on Arthur's, which cashed, by the way, for Doug's doubles.
Boom.
But he was actually, probably their one of their better players as well.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by him. He looked good. Took the line on, had a bit of confidence. I mean, he's next to a spud defensively in Dom Young. But, so there's only so much you can do here.
Just a spider here.
And, I thought Broncos looked really good. Ben Hunt has come into that team and just that half pairing is great. I thought the dummy half, Corey Pakes, I thought he was really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, to go from not playing a game since 2020 in first grade
That was a good try he scored.
to finally get picked, to come in to score, to do all that. I thought he was really impressive. I thought Broncos front row pairing of Haas and Carrigan were probably the best players on the field. They were unbelievable. They made huge meters, many offloads.
What happens with Ezra Mam now?
No idea. I really don't know what you do when he comes back. I mean,
because he has been good. I wouldn't just flick Ben Hunt to the side for him.
no, for sure.
But, like, obviously the thing is Ben Hunt can play 9. But it's like, look what they did to the Roosters with Ben Hunt playing off to the side. I don't know.
It's probably a conversation when you get there. I mean, hard to see Reynolds going a full season healthy. Like,
Yeah, I guess
God
so.
forbid you don't want to see anyone go down. But,
Nah.
I mean, if history is to repeat itself, it feels like
Yeah.
at least they have depth. I mean, it's in that
Yeah, well, fuck, the Roosters would fucking kill for one of them.
I
They'd
know.
fucking be coming back from injury.
100%. Roosters just lack that quality in the halves. They didn't have Townsend's a fucking passenger. He did nothing.
Walsh swallowed up every kick.
Yeah.
They just started all their sets. Pardon me. They started all their sets from like the 30, 40 metre line, and Broncos attack. Too fast, too strong for the defence of the Roosters.
And I actually thought Roosters started right first, like 10 or 15 minutes max, but they looked good defensively in that first 10 minutes. I was actually pretty impressed. Like,
That's right. In the group,
yeah,
in
I
the-
sent a
in the
message
chat.
saying, wow, the Roosters are actually looking all right. Like, they were shaping up defensively. They were moving pretty well. I was like, oh, they might be all right here. And then they just cracked. I think it came after Radley went down with a head knock, that
was
concussion.
bad. Loves a concussion. That
Yeah,
poor
he's
cunt.
had a few. As soon as he kind of went down, they just crumbled. So he won't be back for a while, I reckon. Like, he's had multiple concussions.
Well, the thing is, like, obviously, as good as Radley is and the sort of leader he is, if Tedesco goes down, there's no way they get fucking anywhere near outside the bottom 4.
Yeah,
Because, like, imagine losing him already after that game.
100%.
Imagine if he got injured at the end of that game. Like,
Yeah, they're in big trouble already.
they are fucked, Roosters.
Walker's due back mid-year. Season they'll be done by then, really, if they
They're already
continue.
done. Put a line straight through the fucking Roosters. They are done.
We need to get a whiteboard like Gorringe has with fraud watch,
true.
fraud alert, and we'll just circle them. But yeah, I think Roosters are in big trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble. We won't touch on all the recaps. The only other ones we really wanted to touch on, obviously Manly taking on Cowboys. Manly just absolutely mollywopped them, and it was very, very good to watch. I think on the podcast last week, I said Manly -3.5 has the potential to look like the best value of the week. And judging by the scoreline, it was the best value of the week. I just saw Cowboys in this shithouse defensively, and they came out and proved it. They looked fucking terrible.
Yeah, their poor young halves just could not get into it. And when you're playing in front of a full-packed crowd at Brookvale,
And it was packed.
and fuck, no one likes Manly. I don't even know if Manly fans like Manly, but
No.
fuck, it would have been a fucking tough old debut.
Yeah, Tom Duffy obviously comes in.
Tom Nuffy.
Yeah, didn't have a great game either. I mean, hard to have a great game in that scoreline, but I didn't think their stars really stepped up at all. I mean,
Only up from there, to be fair.
I thought Dearden looked average. I mean, you can't really... Somehow Braden Burns got 1 point in the Dally M. I don't know if you saw that.
Nice guy votes.
Yeah, he scored a decent try, but fuck, you can't give someone 1 point getting pumped by 50. Turbo is just elite. We're going to talk about it later with Parramatta, obviously the news with Parramatta.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a bloke that deserves big coin, it has to be Cleary, Turbo, and Daylight, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, obviously, Cleary, you see the difference he makes. To be fair, Penrith hold their own without him at times because they've got such a great team, or had over the years. But, like, Manly, fuck, man, every time just the things he does, it's not even when they run a back set. Like, when they scored that try, he literally took it from first receiver as a hit up, just went straight through the defence, gets through, support on the inside. I think it was Bullimore, scored. I was just like, he literally is just fucking turning everything into gold.
He didn't make one error. Every kick swallowed straight back. He lacks a little bit of intensity on that initial hit up, but I think it's because of that injury past and things like that.
I feel like he does it on purpose. Like he's just fucking cruising.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just so impressive. He did
like I think 3, maybe 4 halftime try assists before halftime.
I can't believe he didn't get one himself. I was shocked by that. I thought he was in and around every single thing.
I know. Did we all hit that bed boost in 365 for him anytime try scorer?
Was it him?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get on it.
Yeah.
But so Manly looked good. Cowboys defensively looked terrible. They're taking on the Sharkies, which we'll touch on later. So be very interesting to see how they go from there. South versus the Dolphins.
Yep.
Pretty lackluster game on both sides.
Shit game. South, I mean, some shining lights. Jamie Humphries looked pretty good in his NRL debut for Souths.
That's good. You should, that's a good way to waste $650K on a bloke from the UK who's going to play reserve grade.
I know. It's exactly what you want to hear. But to be fair, I don't really give a fuck. I'm not paying the bills. All I know is that Jamie Humphries has been the better player. And then obviously the reverse shining light is Tyrone Munro's fucking fractured his collarbone for like the 4th time in fucking 12 months.
Yep.
And he's like, again, like just give it, he's like the hope for South. Like you just know him that he's fucking got so much potential. Still only 19, maybe 20. But fuck, I would love to see where he's going to be at 29. Hopefully 300 tries in with South still.
Yeah.
But yeah, poor cunt's fucking going to be out for 6 to 8. So
yeah, it's a shame. I didn't think I just wasn't really impressed with that game in general. I thought sloppy, fucking dog shit. Really,
all
both
the star
sides.
players pretty. Like Hammer was quiet. Jack Wine, he's a star, but he was quiet.
He's out. He's gone for this week.
He's got a week. Cody Walker just did his job. South forwards did okay. Jairo was okay.
I thought Dolphins looked like tired. They looked unfit.
Yeah, I don't know.
They lost legs in the second half. They
had a big week, but
yeah, I mean, you have to give them a little bit of credit for moving the game.
Well, they stuck in there. They nearly won at the end.
Yeah,
it's the South with a late try to get back in front.
Yeah, so I don't think you can take too much away from that game, but wasn't overly impressive.
Nothing exciting.
We had Doggies versus Dragons, which again was like I actually watched it at the pub. I thought it was a pretty entertaining game. Thought Doggies started hard and faded at the end. Yep. I was pretty impressed by the Dragons' ability to kind of just hang in there. And, if it was them last year, I think they probably would have capitulated and lost by 40. But had a bit of a fight back, led through Val, who, again, I said was a very good signing for them in that left centre. He was pretty much involved in everything offensively, set up all 3 of those tries for Tuipulotu. Dragons, Bulldogs just too good defensively. They grind you, and they just, that little bit better, which, I thought it was a pretty good game, pretty impressed by all of them. Lachlan Ilias had a few errors, but I thought he played a good game overall. He outshone Flanagan for me, and what did you think? Yeah,
no, much the same, literally what you just said before that, like, obviously with Camus Serraldo coming across, their defence sort of like mirrors Penrith a bit. They just wear them down, and then sort of by the time that, the Dragons in this instance were sort of tired. Bulldogs capitalised after just defending so well off the back of that. They had the ability to sort of open them up a bit, run across their tired forwards. The Dragons pack were... Buster Bellin had to go off for a HIA for about 30 minutes.
Couchman ACL. And so, they did score a few tries that sort of got them at the wrong time for the Dragons. But to their credit, they stuck in it and got a few late ones. But I think the Doggies were the better team regardless. Yeah, a thin forward pack for the Dragons becomes even thinner with the ACL for Couchman. Yep. I thought the edge-back rolls for the Bulldogs are pretty good. Like Satili Tupanua. Oh, he was probably his best game of his career in the last 4 or 5 years. Scored two. We had the bench too, wasn't it? We had Preston for 1. He didn't get over, but they just looked really threatening through that edge-back row. I mean, Big Bill Kickout has to be one of the biggest front runners in the fucking whole of the NRL. He's like when the going gets tough, Big Bill gets going. No, he's a mental midget, Big Bill. But when they want to, be flat track bullies, he steps up and has like huge games. He's an interesting cat. Yeah, no, I'd be running straight at him every time. There's a reason Penrith let him go. I think they don't usually let go of. I thought the signing was too much money, but I mean, he got signed at a good time, coming off the back of a couple flags. And then to finish the week, we might have missed a game or two, but who cares? This is the big talking point. The Melbourne Storm beat poor old the Parramatta Eagles. Oh. Yeah, well, Parramatta, the thing about Parramatta is I predict them to be 5th to 8th and, Yeah, tough way to start the year for a Parramatta fan. Do you want to touch on all those things that you want to talk about? Or? I think this will wrap up nicely into the mug of the week.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so we'll get into Frank's mug of the week. I don't know if I had an intro song. I can't remember.
Nah,
But
you can probably just put one in.
you can hit the button if you like. Any button, except that one.
They're not coming through anyway, so that's great start. That's great podcasting.
This is good podcasting.
Yep.
Frank's mug of the week this week is respectfully Adam from the Talking Power podcast. Respectfully, I know there's been...
I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say something else. That's fucking good.
Respectfully, there's been a bit of, shitbagging back and forth. We obviously shitbagged the Parramatta Eels first, so we're fine with copping shit, which we did after that. The Parramatta fans came out in droves to tell us how stupid we are, how dumb we are, how fat we are, everything the above, which play on for mine. We invited Adam from the Talking Power podcast on to debate why he thought, we were the dumbest people on earth. He came on, credit to him. He said 3 things I'll touch on. 1, the Mitchell Moses injury was just rumour.
What injury, mate?
There was just rumour. He said he'd been down at training. It was all rumours and he wouldn't put too much stock in that. Come the next week, Mitch Moses ruled out for 6 weeks with a foot injury.
No, mate, when I saw him, mate, he was kicking it from the sideline, mate.
And that's 1. Okay, 2. The second one was that Parramatta, if they versed Brisbane last week, would have beat Brisbane. They would have beat Cronulla. I think he said they would have dominated South, which all might be true.
And the Storm.
But it's very brave for them to come out and say that and then lose by 60 to the Storm. So that's strike 2. And then strike 3, he assured us that Dylan Brown wasn't leaving. Come to find last night, Dylan Brown signs a record contract.
Get me the fuck out of here.
With the Newcastle Knights. 1.3 a year for 10 years. Strike 3. Adam from the Talking Barra podcast, you're out, brother. You have won the mug of the week. It was going to be Zach Lomax because just thought he had a stinker of a game defensively. The bloke needs to get back on the wing ASAP. Otherwise, he might not even be in first grade. So he was going to win it, but after the news of Dylan Brown leaving the Parramatta Eels at the season end for a record deal, it just had to be Adam from the Talking Para podcast. We love you. We respect you. But 3 strikes and you're out.
Sorry, brother.
And with that, we will now move on to the AFL preview for round... Is this round 1? Yeah, it's round 1.
Round 1, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we got opening round and then round 1. Make it make sense.
Yep.
AFL, round 1, opening with a blockbuster.
This is game of the week, people.
Richmond taking on Carlton. Richmond paying $10.40, Carlton $1.05. The line, 47.5 points.
I am going to play them at minus 59.5. Honestly, there is no way in hell that Carlton lose this by less than 10 goals. I'm confident.
60?
It's a lock.
Okay.
It's a lock. Only Carlton could do this to fuck it up.
Yeah, even without Curnow?
Even without Curnow. Even with Harry McKay, honestly, they had to put 10 goals on Richmond. I went and watched Richmond VFL on Saturday, and I think they're fucking better than their first grade team at the moment.
Okay.
Carlton by 60, 70 minimum.
Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing more for me to add.
I was going to say, what else can you add on to that?
No, nothing more for me to add. Provide picks. Bet Carlton to win by 60.
Yep. It's a lock for me.
Not guaranteed. All right, we don't need to talk on that one much more. Probably going to be a very harsh welcome back for Richmond. Let's move on.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hawthorn taking on the Essendon Bombers. We have the Hawthorn Hawks $1.35 taking on the Essendon Bombers $3.23. The line set at 20.5. How do you feel about this game?
I think it's a relatively fair price. Obviously, Hawks played their round 1 game. They just beat the Swans in Sydney, a team that made the grand final before. Essendon haven't really looked too sharp in the preseason.
They looked all right. They had a decent game against Geelong. And
playing a lot of young guys, though.
Yeah.
I just think that a young team, they sort of compared... I know Hawthorn are young too, to be fair, but we've seen what Hawthorn can do at fucking full stride. And I just think that they're going to be too strong for Essendon for round 1 for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hawthorn's defence is just too strong.
Yeah.
And the Essendon forward line, it is better than last year, I think, with those young guys. Like, they'll add a bit of youth and enthusiasm and, won't have Peter Wright fucking slowing them down. So, if Hawthorn had a worse backline, I'd say like, oh, Bombers might have a chance. But no, I think Hawthorn just look too good at the moment, too strong,
like Sicily,
confident.
Ballarat, it's like they're not going to be able to fucking score easily against the Hawks, I think.
And I think Essendon do have a good backline with, the likes of Ridley and a few of those other guys. But I think the midfield of Hawthorn probably, if they can beat Sydney, they can probably beat Essendon there. They'll lock down Merritt, you would think. Yeah. And then that, requires a major few liftings in the midfield for Essendon. So, it feels like a Hawthorn win.
Yeah, I think Hawthorn's mids will run a train on them.
All right, next game. We have Geelong Cats, $1.47, taking on the Fremantle Duckers, $2.70.
Yep.
The line is 13.5. What do you got?
It's a tough one. I mean, I don't think Freo are all that bad, but they are a very boring team, as I've said 1,000 times. It's in Geelong, I take it?
I believe it's in Geelong, yes.
I believe it's in Geelong. I think Geelong are hard to beat at home. They're the better team. Round one, it's a bit too early to fucking sort of pay the picks and strength, but obviously they've signed Bailey Smith. He's going to be pretty handy in their midfield for him. But I just, Freo for me, just...
I think there's question marks over Shai Bolton as well. Whether or not he's playing. I think he's like a 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, we're filming this on the Tuesday, so we don't have access to proper team lists or anything like that for both sports, but... I don't know, Freo at $2.70 is kind of intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't think it's that far apart. I mean, obviously they struggled to fucking win in good teams in Melbourne last year. I mean, I don't know. Dangerfield's another year older. He'll probably fucking play full forward all year this year. That fucking cunt. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
let's see if Jeremy Cameron lines up in the midfield again like the start of last year. Remember that?
Oh, it's just bizarre. I don't know. It just feels a little bit wide. $2.70 is like...
It is wide, I reckon.
Yeah, it just feels slightly wide to me. Maybe the line is worth a nibble here. But given it's round one, probably just a watch this space for me for both teams.
Yep.
I'll lean Geelong because I do think they'll finish higher. But again, they got some new players and some things to work out, so maybe they'll take a little bit to come to effect. Freo have had that run around versus the Indigenous team, so
Catman.
Maybe they'll be better for that. Yeah, see the Catman again, and I think Geelong probably deserve favouritism, but this feels a little bit wide to me.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a tricky one to be honest, but I'm comfortable saying that Cats will win also.
Righto. Next game of the week, we have Sydney Swans, $2.07, taking on the Brisbane Lions, $1.82. The line is 3.5. This is at the SCG again.
Grand final rematch.
Yeah. Pretty nervous for the Swannies.
Yeah, I am too after last week.
Yeah.
And even though that's in Sydney as well. And like I said, Brisbane.
Tough start to the year.
Yeah, I know.
Really tough start to the year for Sydney.
I'm a bit worried that Brisbane might sort of get a leg up over them here because, I mean, they dominated them in the grand final. They've looked sharp. They're hungry dog for me, even though they beat them last time. I don't know. I reckon they might spook Sydney. I'm interested to see how they bounce back after the loss, but if Sydney think they're going to be the real deal, they're going to have to fucking find something to come over the top here.
Yeah, this is a tough match to go after losing to Hawthorn and
going
then
0-2. It's going to be pretty
back
tough.
to the team who beat you by 100 in the grand final. That's pretty big mentally.
I mean, they do lose. Like Danaher is a huge loss for them, obviously, but I still think they're just fucking too good across the park.
When I watched their trial against Adelaide, mate, the speed that they were moving the ball with into that forward line was more impressive than when they had Danaher, because they didn't have to rely on him, making this huge lead or taking this like crazy pack mark. They just moved it with such speed and accuracy into that forward 50. I was really impressed. I think they'll probably carve our back line up. If they play like they did last week, I think Prizzy, we'll have a good time here. Yeah, no, I'm a bit worried about this game, to be honest. Let's just sort of leave it at that, I think, because I think the Swannies could be in trouble. Yeah, I think I'd tip the Lions here. But hopefully our Swannies can bounce back. We'll see. Next game of the week, we have the Western Bulldogs. Sorry about that. If you can hear that, it's a plane flying above. Yeah, Western Bulldogs, $1.35, taking on the North Melbourne Kangaroos, $3.21. The line is 19.5. If you're in the Provide Picks group, you locked in the Kangaroos at 29.5. Awesome. I think that's a great line. Pretty happy to just stick with that. It'll probably be the best value bet of the year, and it'll probably lose. Yeah, I think it's a great bet. Just given North Melbourne to beat the line by 10 points is pretty good, so happy with that. But it'll look like value. North Melbourne will probably go out there and lose by 30, and it won't matter anyway. So I don't think there's too much to talk about, to be honest. Dogs are fucking... No, I actually think there is a bit to talk about. I mean, Bulldogs, Bont out. Yeah, that's why it'll be a stinker. Who else? Libba's out, I'm pretty sure. Jamara, obviously. Treloar. there's about 5 or 6 weightmen, 5 or 6 first-team players out, which is why I locked in the Kangas when I did, and then obviously Bonk got ruled out after that.
Love the Kangas.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think the Kangas are live for an upset here. I wouldn't take him on the line because I just don't trust him. On the head-to-head because I don't trust him. But I think their line at 29.5 is a good bet, and 19.5 is probably not enough for me to get involved. But it should be a fun match. We'll see where both teams are at. Tough for the doggies to start off with, 6 first-team players out. We'll see what they're made of.
Yeah, honestly, I'm interested to see what the Kangaroos do. I could see a bit of an upset at Marvel potentially, but in saying that, I could also see them getting beat by fucking 80. That's just typical North Melbourne, so... but no, I think it's a pretty decent game. Down at Etihad, I believe, in South Wank.
Oh, is it?
Pretty sure.
Maybe we'll go watch it.
No, we're not, because at the same time, it's the same. It's at the same time as the.
It's the Pies game.
Yeah, both games are at 7:35.
Great.
Which will take us into our next game nicely.
So who are you locking in?
I'm locking in North Melbourne to cover the line at 19.5.
Yeah, like it. Me too. All right, next game. One we're attending. Collingwood Pies, $1.60 taking on Port Adelaide. Power, $2.34. Line 8.5.
Tricky one.
Do you think the market's a little bit scared of Collingwood after that performance against GWS?
I don't know. I think they are a little bit. It's the great unknown of being round one. It's like, what if fucking Port Adelaide going to dish up this year?
I'll ask you this then. If the Pies were competitive last week with GWS and lost by 2 goals?
They're paying $1.29.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Feels like a slight overreaction from that performance, which wasn't great, but it was GWS.
It is like, I don't know how many blokes pulled up sore. If there's going to be any injury clouds, or like I said, Nick Dacos didn't play the last 5-10, or he played the last 10, but like was hardly on doing
that weird limp.
So I mean, it just depends on sort of how they get back up. But I think after taking the loss,
Houston's back.
Yeah, well, and against his old team. I mean, if Collingwood sort of take anything from the weekend, they'll sort of bounce back, hopefully, and put it on Port Adelaide. It's going to be another tight... I think every Collingwood game's a tight game, to be honest.
Generally, yeah. I feel like Pies deserve favouritism here. I didn't think they were great on the weekend, but they also versed an extremely hard team with big running, young, youthful talent. And I think they probably match up better against Port. Port don't have, a huge forward line.
Well, not with Marshall being out.
Marshall's out.
If they throw Jeremy Finlayson down forward,
which they will,
they're far. Well, he played a lot of half-back in the trials and looked good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've actually got him in my Supercoach team, because I think is a bit of, as if he plays back.
Half-back, Finlayson.
I know, but he's actually was really good
Fair
during the trials because he's been so inconsistent down forward. If he's there forward to kick 2 down there, I'm trying to think who else.
Georgiades, is he there? Or is he injured? Or he had a good end to the last year, to be fair.
I thought he was pretty good all of last year, to be honest.
But besides him, it's like, the small guys, Pal Pepper.
Plus, there's no Butters still.
Willie.
No Butters. Yeah, I don't know. But if you win it through the middle with Keith Cameron being the better ruckman, your midfield play better, I don't know. It's going to be hard for Port Adelaide to fucking beat Pies head to head, I think.
Yeah, I think Collingwood would match up pretty well with them, especially their forward line. I don't think the Port back line is like amazing.
Quainar looked really good on the weekend, I thought too. Hey, I thought he was their best backman.
Okay.
So maybe the injection of Houston off half back.
Yeah, I think they need that run because they lacked a bit of it, especially in the midfield too, with like Pendles didn't look great in terms of the running, and obviously Dacos went down with cramp.
Sidebottom looked good though.
Yeah.
The other old man.
Yeah. So I like Pies here. I think this is a bit of an overreaction. I think if they were competitive against GWS, they'd probably be $1.30, $1.40 here. So
is pretty decent.
Line 8.5 feels pretty fair. Might have a nibble on that, depending on team list when they come out. But yeah, I like Collingwood here.
Yep, nice. Same for me.
All right, Adelaide Crows, $1.39 taking on the Saints, and it's $3. Line 18.5. Don't really rate either team, if I'm completely honest. I think the Crows probably got bigger upside, but Saints I've got in my bottom 4. They can eat shit. They don't score well. Defensively, they're pretty good. They move, well off half-back, but they don't go into the forward 50. Saints can get a big dog up them.
This is literally a battle against 13th against 15th, so I reckon, I won't be watching it. I don't think anyone else will be, other than the blokes in the fucking crowd, all 120 of them. So
I've seen a lot of people be like high on Crows and talk about Crows.
That. Just
top 8.
because Isaac Rankin's going to be fucking out of his, until what? Who else they got? Going to kick to fucking Taylor Walker, who's 37? Mate, he was good back in 2015. Like, he's consistent, but he's just like, mate, come on. Fogarty's not even, it's not even their forward line anymore. It's just,
yeah. I hate the Saints, so I wouldn't back them. But $1.39 for the Crows here feels pretty low potentially.
That's a coin flip, man.
Yeah, I favour the Crows just because Saints can suck a bag of them. So yeah, I think Crows deserve favouritism. I don't know, maybe that's a bit steep, but I guess we'll find out pretty quickly. I don't have a strong read on this one. I don't really care if I'm completely honest.
That's a fucking stinker of a game. It's a Sunday Arvo game, I bet. That's a stinker.
All right, let's move on to this one. And this one, I am extremely surprised by the
Holy
price.
fuck.
I mean, I get it a little bit, but Melbourne Demons, $2.05, taking on GWS, $1.80, line 3.5. I think we need some explanation here.
Did I put these in the AFL?
Well, I didn't put these in.
Well, I'm fucking hammering GWS for the line.
Can you check that's the right?
I'm hammering
price?
that because that is ridiculous.
Look,
Have I gypped us here?
I don't know, but I looked at that price and I said, that can't be right. Hence why I've done question marks after it and said, explain.
No, Giants are at $1.87 on
Okay.
Sportsbet.
I'm going to assume that's because Gorn in ruck and obviously Briggs probably not going to be back and GWS don't really have a big, a replacement for that. But
But did you see
who's going to kick goals for Melbourne? Like,
besides Fridge?
they're going to lock him down. If Sam Taylor's like he plays like he
The
did
line
last
is
week,
now 2.5.
it feels like a GWS spot all day. I mean, Melbourne are scoring what, like 60 to 80 on their best day?
But I'm not putting any disrespect on. I mean, obviously they got Petrarca back. Whether or not he'll play a full game in the guts, it looks like he will because he's been doing it in the preseason. And Oliver's been great.
Well, good luck. They'll have Toby Bedford all over them.
I know, but the thing is, like, fucking, did you not just see what the Giants did pretty comfortably? Like,
To a better team.
and Tom Green will be back. And
Nah.
None of those three boys.
Nah, he's not back for 4 weeks, I think. I would expect one of them back, Hogan or Stringer.
I don't think Hogan could, but I think it's like he broke his fucking thumb. So I mean, if he could play through it, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a huge break, and I'm pretty sure Stringer's only a 1 week thing. So one of them will be back
Yeah, I
for
don't know.
sure.
That's a bit weird. Like I said, Melbourne are one of those teams that could sort of.
I mean, they have looked dreadful in the preseason.
What's what I mean? I'm trying to pitch them at their best last year.
I have to assume that price is because of Gorn in the ruck.
But Gorn's also fucking getting old. I'm not going to tell you, he's still the best ruckman in the
Who's going to
comp.
match up to him, though? That's the thing.
Yeah, but what's he going to do? Fucking win the taps and then lurk down forward? Yeah, but fucking... I reckon he looks most dangerous when he's down back intercepting the marks, to be honest. I don't know. I still think Giants have so much more in the tank.
But maybe GWS will just, because they don't have a ruckman, they'll go small, they look to outrun them. They have more legs than Collingwood last week by kilometres.
-2.5. What are we not seeing?
I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something there for sure.
That could be, honestly, that could be...
I feel like it's a great bet.
I think that could be on the playlist for me this week.
Yeah, it feels like a great bet.
-2.5.
Melbourne have showed nothing. Look, they obviously do have the talent, but it's all midfield oriented, right? With Petrarca, Oliver, Gorn, all in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really
I guess
understand.
that's the cloud around. I would love to see what they'd be at if it was round 2 after both playing a game.
Well, let's see what this team list looks like. Maybe that'll explain a bit more come team list announcement. But yeah, for sure, it feels. I don't understand why GWS aren't wider.
No.
Judging off what we've seen already. So anyway, we'll find out. And then the last game of the week, we have Gold Coast Suns, $1.52 taking on West Coast Eagles, $2.55. Line 12.5. Suns can't really win away from home. Lucky they're playing at home. Yeah.
And lucky they're playing the Eagles.
Yeah, I think 12.5 for the Suns feels pretty generous. I like that price.
That is a stinker of a game. What's that for the 4:30? It's the graveyard shift.
Yeah, that's the Sunday.
That is a stinker.
Yeah, it's bad.
Fuck, well, they ruined my Sunday Arvo.
Dreadful way to start the week and dreadful way to finish the week.
Oh, that's a shit game. Fuck, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I think Gold Coast win. 12.5 feels pretty good.
Yeah, whatever. Only because they got Took Miller. That's a fucking stinker. Like, what the fuck?
All right,
What are we doing here?
All right, well, that's a shitty way to end the week, but we'll move on to the NRL preview for round 2.
Yep.
It's got to be a little bit different, AFL. They can't do round 1 and round 1 at the same time. They're going to do round 2.
Yeah.
So NRL round 2 preview. Let's kick it off Thursday night. Again, leading into the week with an absolute shithouse game. The Newcastle Knights, $1.65 taking on Redcliffe Dolphins, $2.25. The line is 3.5. Knights come in unchanged. For the Dolphins, would probably expect Nikorima and Bromwich back into the extended squad. You got any read on this game at all?
I don't know how the NRL do so well with fucking Vegas and all this promo stuff, but every fucking Thursday there's a stinker on. What was it last Thursday night? Oh, actually, Broncos Roosters wasn't too bad.
It was good viewing.
But I guess every game can't be perfect, but fuck me dead. Knights Dolphins. Come on, people.
I guess any footy's good footy, but...
I know. Well, you're right, but it's like, fuck, I'm really going to... I mean, now that I've said that Carlton are winning by 10 goals, I'll probably be watching that happen just because I've said it. But Knights, Dolphins, fuck, I don't know. I can see that one being probably 16-14 Knights.
Feels like an unders.
or it's going to be 34-24. Like, I don't know. It feels like an unders game for me. I don't know what the weather's doing up there, but fucking Knights suck dick. Dolphins suck dick. So, yeah, I reckon it's a very bang average game. No one really fucking getting excited or hard for that one, I think.
Nah, hard to get excited about what you saw from either team last week. I thought Newcastle, looked okay at times. We had Bradman Best to score a try.
That'll be a good matchup with Farnworth, your mate.
Yeah, that'll be a really good matchup if they play on each other. Hopefully they do.
They should, I think.
I thought Best was okay last week. He had 3 good opportunities to score, so I felt pretty good about that bet. Didn't end up hitting, but yeah, their left side is so dominant. I mean, they've got Sharp running down there. Ponga will chime in.
Yeah.
They've got Dylan Lucas in the second row, and then they've obviously got Best into Peanut Brain Marju.
I wonder how they're going to do defensively against that right edge of Dolphins that love to score.
It's
Dolphins being at $2.30 something. Sarko wouldn't be the worst play this week. I mean, it's just...
I probably favour them to score on the other side just because I think Best is a really good defender. Marju's got shit for brains. So
Can they fucking score that side anymore, the Dolphins?
Left side?
Did they score
well,
the
they
left
used
side
to.
on the weekend?
They used to with Bostock, but he's injured, so he's out.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem just to favour the right. I mean, I would too, but it's working for him. But
Yeah, I don't really have a strong read on the game. Feels like Newcastle deserves to be favourite. Would expect probably a better showing from the Dolphins with some run in the legs, and obviously Nicarima back in the halves. I think they missed him a bit, just a bit of guidance and steering the ship. But yeah, feels like probably a nice spot but not a hugely confident read. I don't know how you could be confident on either of these.
It's a bit of a gross one, yeah.
Yeah. The next game of the week, we've got the Manly Sea Eagles taking on the New Zealand Warriors at Go Media Stadium in Auckland.
Yep.
$1.42 for Manly. Warriors $2.90. Line 7.5. If the Warriors turn up and play like they did in Vegas, Eagles will put 75 on them.
If this was in Brookvale, which I thought it was originally, I would have given them fucking 13 plus. I'm still not even doubting them to do that anyway, because like I said, Warriors could bounce back. But what we dished, I mean, if it was yesterday, we were talking about how bad they were. We grilled them last week.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really compliment Manly enough after what I saw on the weekend. So, Ola Kawatu, that right-hand side, holy shit, they just fucking dominated it.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
And left, I'm pretty sure on...
Yeah, left is Garrick and Lehigh, Opawati.
Up to about the Warriors was fucking that Tuapiki. He played on the left side.
Two of us Sheck on the left and Tuapiki on the right.
Are you sure it was
that?
Yeah.
Because two of us Sheck scored left-hand side, I remember.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did because the back rower scored for his... Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough then. It's that left side will be a bit stronger than the right. I thought Tuapuki was on their left, but either way, fucking Olakawatu just runs over whoever's defending that. Whoever's that half on that side is in for a big game.
Yeah, well, that's probably the biggest talking point of the game for me is who they go for in the halves, the Warriors, because I don't think they can have Chanel Harris-Tavita and Luke Metcalf out there at the same time. I
don't think they can have Tamari Martin defending against that side. They're in trouble, I think. That's why I think it... And plus, they still got to get through fucking Turbo. DCE looked great.
If their defence looks half... I mean, if Canberra are putting 30 points on you, Manly are like a top 4 offensive team last year, and they look like they've gotten better.
And the Vegas ground was narrower, so less room to cover, ideally.
Yeah.
And they fucking got dusted.
I'd be worried for the Warriors here.
I think 7.5 is a pretty... I mean, it's not a scary line. Like I said,
2 tries?
Would take him for the 2 tries, unconverted. Gary can kick. I mean, that's how I would see it. But, I mean, you never know what happens over in New Zealand. It could be fucking raining cats and dogs over there. But I reckon that's a fucking special Manly with the line, P.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with the team. I think they have to... They need Tamari Martin in to have any offensive success, the Warriors, but defensively, they just look shocking.
Especially when 2 of us shit gets in the fucking wing again.
Yeah.
Chance. We haven't even talked... Oh, Chance. You got to go, brother.
How many times do we... I don't know. I don't know how many chances do you give them to fail? Like,
if they get dusted by Manly at home, I think the back line... Someone on the spine's getting shuffled.
Yeah.
Whether it's Tavita, whether it's fucking Chance or Clockstad, something's got to happen. I think Metcalf will have a better game.
Yeah.
But, they're... I don't know.
I'll give him 5 weeks before. I wouldn't even give him... I'll give him 4 weeks. I reckon Roger will be fullback.
Yeah, right.
Or centre. He won't be on the wing. He's wasted.
Year. I mean, through injury, but it happened last year relatively quickly. So
yeah, I'll give him 4 weeks out, I reckon. But yeah, I think Manly just continue here. I think their confidence will be sky high. Obviously, they're going over New Zealand, so it probably won't be as easy, especially with some decent front rowers they'll come up against finally. But I just think the Eagles too classy.
Yep.
Too good in the halves.
Yep.
Too good in the fullback with Tommy.
13 plus.
That win. Another quick one. Penrith Panthers $1.13 taking on the Sydney Roosters $6.05. Line 16.5. This feels like Penrith should dominate.
That's about 16.5 too many, like not enough. Honestly, last week I said Roosters would get done by 40. They did, and I'm going to double down again and say they get dusted by 40 again.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think 42 because Nathan Cleary doesn't miss, so that's 7 tries.
I agree.
Sorry, Teddy. I've never liked you because you're a fucking Roosters scum, but I honestly felt for you in the weekend being any bloke that had a fucking clue.
I like Teddy. You know, just Origin hero. Just you know, he might play for the Roosters, but that's okay. He's in for a long night.
He's in for a long year, brother.
He's in for a very long night. If they even serve up half of what they did defensively to the Broncos, who I think like maybe might have more like punch, but like, you know what I mean? A little bit more speed and sort of offense like that. I think the Penrith are way too efficient. They don't make mistakes. They don't make errors. Cleary's kicking game, fucking unbelievable.
Robbo will get him back up and, you know, at him for a game. Like I said, normally the Roosters games with the Panthers have been good over the recent years because obviously they've both been decent teams, but we saw Penrith sort of fumble and sort of just pick up, take a while to get into the game against the Sharks. But once they got their roll on and the Sharks, who we tout for a top 4 team, they just fucking sort of, like, they didn't even look like they were trying overly hard. They were just fucking, same as last week at the Broncos, they'll just wear them down defensively, I reckon, give it, say, sort of an even roughly score 15, 20 minutes in, and then fucking from 20 minute to 80 minute, it's just going to be try after try.
Yep, I agree. Penrith should roll 13 plus. Next game of the week, we have Dragons. St George Dragons, $1.48, taking on South Sydney Rabbitohs, your boys, $2.67, line 5.5. What do you reckon?
I reckon it's going to be a pretty busy week for me on Facebook, I reckon.
The Dragons fans?
Yeah, all 7 Dragons fans. They would tend to be mates with me. I mean, fuck. It's a tough one. South didn't look great last week. Dragons, I thought, looked much better than the Rabbitohs did against the Dogs. I mean, yeah, it's sad for me to say, but I'm not feeling confident for this one as a South fan.
Is this going to be a Lockie Ilias revenge tour generational game here?
That's up for Lockie Ilias to decide, to be honest. I don't know.
Could it be?
Well, if anything, this could be a Jamie Humphries fucking, you know, standout time to say, fucking, best thing we did was, I mean, it was already a great thing we did flicking Ilias, but, man, you know, if fucking Dragons do beat us, but he's a shining light, it's like, oh, well, I mean, still down 700K for fucking...
Do we have a sniff at Lachlan Ilias anytime try scorer?
Oh, fuck it.
He has to be just, you know, just raring to get a try here against this old team that fucked him off.
Everyone's raring to get a fucking one over their old side. I don't know, but Souths are the team to let it happen, to be honest. They love a fucking last late-minute try too.
Who's your right winger?
Our right winger, I honestly don't know who it could be this week. It could be Fletcher Myers. It could be fucking...
But normally Munro on the left?
Munro's on the left normally, yeah.
Tass played right wing last week.
Well, see, the thing is, normally it's AJ on the left and Munro would be on the right with Campbell Graham. Yeah. So, to be honest, Campbell Graham, no one gets past.
Was he playing right centre?
Graham was playing on the right.
So it's going to be Valentine Holmes and Tuipulotu versus Tass and Graham, likely.
Yeah, which, to be honest...
It's probably better for you guys.
Yeah, because Graham is solid defensively and Tass isn't that bad a defender either, I think, because he's obviously been playing the centres the last few years and has been sound. It's the left side, which we normally attack with. That's going to be a bit soft defensively, but, I mean, that's Kyle Flanagan's side, isn't it? So...
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this one. It feels like the price is probably like a little bit wide, just given I didn't think South were terrible, and I thought Dragons got let off the hook a bit by the Bulldogs late. I thought it could have been a...
Well, the Dragons did put 40 points on South in the first half in the Charity Shield, which would probably give that away.
True.
So, I don't know. I'm scared. Dragons 1-12.
Okay. Yeah, I think Dragons should win too. It feels a little bit wide. We'll see. Next game of the week, Cowboys. $2.98 taking on the Cronulla Sharks, $1.40. This one up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, my old neck of the woods. Line 7.5. Weather probably dog shit still after Cyclone Alfred. I think Sharks are going to fucking dominate Cowboys. Let's be real. Cowboys defensively, I've touched on it many times this episode. They're horrendous. Their line speed's terrible.
They just got beat by 70.
They've got no forward pack, really. I think Taumalolo's back in for this one.
Oh, woohoo.
I think they have Clifford available for selection too.
Big red dog?
The big red dog, if they decide Duffy's debut was that bad and piss him off, which there's potential, but they probably shouldn't. But, yeah, Clifford maybe come back in. I mean, fucking Jesus, Mary and Joseph could come in for the Cowboys, and I don't think they'd win this game. I think Sharks' forward pack is just going to dominate it, and Reece Robson looked... flat as a tap.
So did Ruben Cotter.
Cotter didn't look like he had much.
McLean.
Dearden didn't really take the line on, but I expect him to do a bit more of that this week. Drinky, we'll see. Probably good for a try.
Hidden.
But yeah, I just think Sharks forwards pack is going to fucking flatten them and just run over them.
I think their back line is too, man. Fucking the way that Ramian played last week, he's going to fucking run rings around fucking. I don't even know who was playing.
Yeah, they've got a few young boys.
Like Murray didn't look great. Murray Talangi,
yeah.
No Talangi.
Nah, so it'll be Stone Street versus Talangi and Ramian on the right. I think Laybutt will be back into other side.
Valamay, is that who it is?
Yeah, I thought actually Valamay was all right last week. He was probably one of the better players for the Cows, but I just think they're in for a fucking long game here.
Yeah, I think so too. I think 7.5. I mean, I don't know. Again, depends on the conditions in the stadium, but I mean, to be fair, if Nico Hines was kicking 7.5 is scary, but fuck, if the line was 5.5, I'd be all over it.
7.5 feels pretty good. I think Sharks showed that they can score against Penrith, which is
tries.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And they're a decent offensive team as long as Nico stays out of the fucking way. And I think Cowboys are that bad defensively that 7.5 feels like pretty good line to me.
Yeah, okay.
I'd have a sniff at that.
Yep.
Next game of the week, we have the Brisbane Broncos, $1.21, taking on the Canberra Raiders, $4.35. Line 12.5. This one down in the nation's capital. Beautiful, beautiful Canberra.
Fucking Canberra.
Robert Louis, hope you're doing well. Legend and friend of the podcast. What do you reckon about this one?
Broncos looked unbelievable against the shitty Roosters. I think in Canberra, Raiders will dumb them down a little bit, just the way they do that to every team.
Tarpany out, Xavier Savage out.
Huge outs.
Yeah.
Broncos 40 plus.
That's a good change.
Yeah, Joseph Tarpany, I like him. To be fair, I thought Savage was great. See, he got like all the Dally M points. Like Savage, he got 5 points or 6 points, whatever the maximum is. Yeah.
And then got suspended for 2 games.
Got suspended, so then he's out of the running for the Dally M.
Just wasted points.
But no, I think the Broncos will win this one. I actually turned a bit of an angle on the Raiders a little bit after their performance. I know it was against the Warriors, but they look somewhat competitive and they try hard. I think they're going to dumb the Broncos down a little bit, so they do. 4.35. I mean, I don't think they're going to win, but I think that's pretty north. What's the line at? 12.5, is it?
Yeah.
I think that's a dangerous line. I wouldn't play the line personally. I still think the Broncos will win comfortably, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I think the Broncos forward pack is Haas and Carrigan be licking their lips. Like, who are they going up against? Big Red, Horsburgh, Corey Horsburgh, and who?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Who they back up.
Tarpany's out. Like,
Emre Gula's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dragons faithful.
I can't even tell you who.
I don't know. I think Haas and Carrigan will be licking their lips. I think they'll probably run fucking 300 metres themselves.
Corey packs his game like he did the other week, you're right. The forward pack's going to dominate him, and that's how you're getting your points off the back of them.
Yeah, I think Fogarty is really big for Canberra. His kicking game just keeps him in games, and obviously with the running game of Ethan Strange and Kyo Weeks off out of fullback, rounds him out nicely, but feels like field position is going to be hard to come by.
Cobbo
unless and Raiders against Warriors still completed at like 69% or something. Yeah, if they do that against Broncos are going to fucking run over the top of them. I think they'll compete and it'll be like relatively competitive, but I think Broncos win by a few tries.
Yeah, okay.
Next game.
Oh, God. Can we just skip this fucking game? Who the fuck's going to watch this?
Parramatta Eels, $2.27, taking on the West Tigers, $1.64, line 2.5. Who wins? Not the fans.
Who wins? Fuck, probably the police officers that go to all the fucking homes in Parramatta and Campbelltown to see whoever's hanging by a noose the least. Like, seriously, honestly, this will be a kick-the-bucket game for the fans of both teams.
The Eels need this so bad.
If the Eels, this is their grand final.
If they get put 40 by the Tigers,
fuck me,
there will be a riot in Parramatta.
This is the Eels grand final.
It feels like it.
Dylan Brown just got given away for fucking overs. Lomax... He's still running from outside from that meme that you posted. This is the biggest game of probably Parramatta history. I can't see there being a bigger game ever in the club's history.
No, I think Nathan Highmarsh will lead the what do they call that? Guard of Honour. I think he'll be at the front of the Guard of Honour.
Crying.
Just next to Sterlo. I think Sterlo will be opposite him. They'll be doing their Guard of Honour. There'll be a huge pep talk in the stadium. You know, they cannot afford to lose this match.
Yeah, honestly,
Peter Wynn will probably sell a record amount of jerseys for this game. And then we'll have to do a record amount of refunds as well, I think.
Yeah, nah, that's a stinker of a game. I haven't got too much to touch on with the Tigers. I don't think there's not anything worth from the Tigers talking about.
I don't know. A lot of people were pretty high on the Tigers. I didn't think it would come to
Every
fruition.
year, it's like the fucking Bulldogs. Everyone's high on the Tigers and they go, yeah, they signed someone. Jerome Luai didn't look too bad, but he's a
I
quality
think he looked
player.
great though, did he?
He's a quality player.
I think he's underdone. Like there was talk of him being injured or not 100% coming into that last game.
Playing with the fucking 4-time premiership team to the 4-time fucking spoon winners. Like, fuck.
I didn't think Galvin looked amazing last week. He's like one of their best players for sure, but he didn't look great taking the line on last week. I think you'll have a much easier line to take on this week with the Eels.
Well, playing against turnstiles, pretty easy.
Another two big ins as well. Jareem Buller and fullback and Appy Coruscant into dummy half. I think they're big. That's big for their team flow. Like Appy will take the line on, a bit more speed.
It could be a classic case of 32-24.
Yeah, I like Tigers
But
here.
then do you back Parramatta to score 4 tries?
Maybe.
No, it's the Tigers. But fuck, man, this is a fucking stinker.
I think Addo Bra's in as well for the Eels. So it'll be Lomax and Addo Carr back.
Is this our Sunday ticket? You've got Eels, Tigers, and then Bulldogs, Titans. Is that our Sunday ticket?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Jeez.
Yeah, this one not a viewer's delight unless you're the Para Cave or Talking Para podcast. But yeah, I think Tigers probably win. But fuck, what an ugly game.
That's a stinker. That's the worst game of the week.
You know who the real winner is? Not the fans.
Nah, probably me not watching it.
Yeah, probably the NRL is the winner.
Imagine being hungover, going to work on Monday, and you're like, fuck, there's got to be something good on telly. You turn it on, and it's fucking Eels, Tigers.
I pray for the Eels fans' sanity that they win this match because, like, Parramatta could be under attack if not. Like, our streets could be ruined.
If Tigers lose this, put the line through them for fucking top 8.
Okay, done. Who do you think wins?
I think Tigers win by 2 points.
I think Tigers win by 4 points.
Okay, I'll meet you in the middle.
3 points.
3 points.
All right, let's move on. Let's not spend too much time on that disaster.
No, thank you.
The final game of the week. Canterbury Bulldogs, $1.34. Gold Coast Titans kick their year off in Belmore, unfortunately for them. $3.20. Line 8.5. Could you think of a worse field to travel to than Belmore in round 1, round 2?
No.
Could you think of a worse suburb to spend time in than Belmore?
Probably Cronulla.
Couldn't disagree more there.
Belmore.
Yeah.
Oh, Woolite Creek.
Doesn't get too much worse than that.
Oh, mate, you try and find parking around. You can parking in Belmore.
Yeah, but there might be parking, but your car won't be there.
Yeah, it's true.
I think, I don't know, I like this match. I think it's a pretty wide line head to head, but I don't know. Dogs just play such a defensive grinding style that, as we touched on, I think they might break the Titans.
I don't think I've seen enough of the Titans in pre-season. Like, it's their first game of the year. I mean, it's a pretty hard one to fucking really say.
Yeah, hard to really want to get involved in the Titans.
Nah, especially with 4 and out.
4 and bicep, 8 weeks or 10 weeks or some shit.
Tino's back, but fuck, how much is he going to... I don't know. That's just...
They do have a good forward pack. They'll probably outsize the Doggies here.
Oh, I'm so sick of your raps on Titans in their forward pack.
We'll see. I think they got a good forward pack. So
I think the Bulldogs' forward pack's better than theirs.
We will see. We'll see. I think
we will see.
I think it'll be competitive. I mean, Titans...
You think it could be competitive?
Somewhat for like 20 minutes, yeah. But
20 minutes?
20 minutes.
Say, keep going.
The first 20 minutes of each half.
What do you reckon the score's going to be then?
I think...
You think it's 1-12?
Yeah, for the dog, yeah.
All right, sweet. 13 plus Bulldogs, $100.
Why would I do that?
Well, you said 1-12. If you think so...
Yeah, but I'm not confident about it.
This is your fucking team, the Titans. You fucking backed them in.
They're not my team. I don't know. Just with 4 and out, it's hard to be confident. Like, what are you going to see from them in the half?
I can't see anything from them because I haven't seen them fucking play.
It's supposed to be Jaden Campbell and Brimson, maybe.
Oh, I mean, whatever.
Who the fuck's going to kick the ball? I don't know. Yeah,
who's going to fucking carry the ball?
Not sure. I don't know. I think Bulldogs will win just off their defence. They're way better defensively. I do think the Titans will have some success offensively. Like, they showed that they're pretty good last year. So I think they'll score a few points. I think it'll probably be like Dogs 26, Titans 12-14, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they'll win by 2-3 tries, Bulldogs, but it's an ugly game. I won't be watching.
No, it's a pretty ugly game. I might watch it. We'll see how we go.
Save it for the highlights.
But that wraps up the NRL Round 2 preview. Yep. We'll move on to Doug's doubles.
Yes. So
hit us with a recap and then get into your pick.
Yep. So last week, my double of the week was Jesse Arthurs to score any time, and Broncos, I think, -3.5, maybe it was 5.5. Obviously, they won by a zillion, and Jesse Arthurs took his time, but it was always scoring. It
was sweaty,
and
wasn't
converted, yeah. So we actually got that for $2.20. So we'll roll that into the next week. Play some noise for me. Yep, we're off the first step of the fucking ladder challenge, I guess you'd call it. So thank you very much, Frank. What we'll do is, so you've rolled that $50 into roughly, I don't know, 150, 120, because it was $2.20.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a $100 bet this week for those betting $50 or whatever. It's just double the first stake. At the moment, I've got Manly -5.5 against the Warriors into Penrith -5.5 against the Roosters. That is exactly $2. Okay, I didn't mind that. Do it one more time. Not too bad. So obviously, I'm still waiting for the team list to come out because I might find something else that I like. I'm not locking it in just yet. By the time you guys hear this podcast, I probably would have announced it on the Instagram and socials before the Thursday game. But at the moment, especially after talking to it with you, I think I'm loving Manly and I'm fucking loving anyone against the Roosters at the moment. So that might be the play. It takes the sort of the props out of the cards, I suppose. But if there's something juicier, I'll make sure to announce it. But for now, it's going to be Panthers and Manly -5.5.
So both teams to win by 5.5.
Both 5.5. Yep, head start.
Love it. Doug's doubles, week 2.
We're going global, baby.
Week 3?
It's week three, but
yeah.
it's round two.
Rung 2.
Yep.
Moving up the ladder. Congrats, mate.
Thank you,
like the picks and good luck.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
We'll recap next week and see how you went.
Yep.
On the provide picks recap front, we had a pretty minimal output week in terms of NRL. I had a few messages about people wanting more volume, but just kind of doesn't make sense at the moment. We haven't seen a lot of teams. Haven't seen the Titans run around yet. Haven't seen most of the AFL teams run around yet. A lot of the NRL teams had some changes in the spine and key positions and things like that. You never want to really invest early when you don't know. It's a bit more of a guessing game. So
everyone's a bit excited is all.
Yeah, I get it. We had a good year last year, but yeah, just got to ease back in. We have over 25 weeks to cash in on this stuff. So I'm not rushing back, but obviously the volume will increase. And on that front, we have a pretty cool sponsor we'll be launching next week as well, which we'll touch on then, which will be pretty fun. But yeah, in terms of a recap, I don't have a specific stats all in the group, but I think we put out about 4 try scorers, and I think we got Coates and one more across, I think.
2 of us.
That was the week before. I don't know. We didn't. I think we lost about a unit. It wasn't a huge outlay, and it wasn't a huge losing stretch. So I didn't. Yeah, not really worth a recap now that I think about it. But in terms of the overall recap for the group, I know Mello, our NBA guy, has been absolutely cooking as of recent. He went up 9 units last week. Pretty much the same the week before.
Yeah, I feel like it's been close to, if not more than, because I've literally just been putting the bets on. Yeah, and I haven't even been checking. They've just been winning.
He's been cooking the last month. He had a little bit of a rough day today, but the last month has been insane. So, I know we only talk NRL and AFL, but the whole group encompasses way more than that. There's football, there's MMA, there's these 2 sports. There's basketball, there's heaps of stuff. So make sure you jump in the group, wap.com/provide picks. You can join free. We do put out free pick of the days on most days, which will pick up with volume as well as we get more games. The wider group doing really well too. And just on the Super Coach, I actually got this up on the screen because I knew we'd touch on it.
I dominated.
So silly old me forgot to change my team before the round started. So I had a few non-starters in there, which means after spruiking you on the for weeks, I forgot to change my team. I ended up 22 out of 23, and the only person who got lower than me was the bloke that didn't even enter a team. So I'm coming last currently. So we'll give a shout out to Doggies, the team name Doggies. It says first name Jerome. So Jerome's Doggies, who scored a 1,389 point week.
That's a fucking good score.
So that put him, 1,296 in the overall rankings in the world.
I've got to be up there,
which is pretty impressive. Just for reference, I scored 661. So he's more than doubled me.
I had 1,237.
Okay, so where's that put you? You just, you're 7th. Yeah, you're just under there.
That's all right.
So not too bad. I've obviously switched my team up now. Tane Milne's 13. So we will see where we end up this week. But
Does it say Hannah, second place?
Yeah, it does.
Hamish.
Oh, Hamish.
Oh, fuck. We should have kept rolled with Hannah. She's fit. But love the chick. A chick listening and in the super coach. Fuck, that's huge.
Yeah, it'll be big signs for the team. But yeah, make sure you join the Supercoach AFL NRL. Links in the description as always. Anything else you want to touch on before we sign off?
Honestly, can't think of anything off the top of my head. It's been a pretty big episode. I think it's gonna.
Yeah.
We're just gonna get better at sort of skimming through the games. But to be honest, we're just so happy to be talking about footy and that. It's
100%.
hard to sort of skip through without giving you guys what you want to hear properly. So
I think we'll have some more like structure in terms of the recaps and stuff soon. Like, I think I want to do like segments where I do like player of the week instead of like a full week recap. I don't know if people really give a shit about that. Maybe we do player of the week or team of the week where we come up with the whoever played the best across the week, or another way of recapping it that's shorter, more to the point, more fun. Maybe we do that and then keep doing the previews. Obviously, we're going to have more call-ins and more segments that keep popping up soon. But
we got to go live soon, I reckon. We got to do the 180 challenge. I want to do that.
Yeah, I really want to do it too. We're going to the Pies versus Port Adelaide game, so there'll be a bit of live content from there.
Yeah.
Probably write a bet out at the game and hopefully cheer at home. But yeah, a lot more content to come. So make sure you head over to the Instagram @ProvidePicks, TikTok @ProvidePicks. It all gets posted on there. We posted a few memes on the week about Parramatta generally, and one of them went ballistic, has like 55,000 views or something in 2 days.
Just need to get that into followers now.
Yeah, hopefully you can convert a few of them into followers. Would be nice. But yeah, we're going to have Doug's Doubles. It's going to get posted there. Going to have more memes throughout the week. We do like exclusive clips, and I'll probably put out some free tips on there too to just try and help people to go over there. If you want to join the premium group through the Discord, the website is whop.com, WHOP.com/providepicks. If you head there is an NRL launch package, which you can use the code NRL 2025 on. That'll get you 15% off. And then if you just want to sign up month by month, there's a PP20 code, which will get you 20% off. So head over there, join the group, come chat. There's heaps of people flowing through the group at the moment. It's been really good. NBA's cooking, football's cooking, the boys are cooking, content's cooking. Not much more to say than that.
No, not really. One thing I have left out is also Walker Golf Things.
Yes.
Had a shitload of people messaging me during the week, actually, in regards to the code. I had a lot of people sending me screenshots of them buying stuff using our code, which is ProvidePicks15. I think PP15 might work also, but I think ProvidePicks15 use that. It's been doing really well. The guys at Walker Golf Things are pretty happy to see that, a lot of people are getting stuff. They just done another drop with Adidas again, including like shoes, which I'm actually buying a pair of. They look fucking sick. They're bringing out good stuff all the time, and they've got some pretty good partners that they're working with, and somehow they've decided to give us free shit. So Walker Golf Things, thank you very much, guys. Make sure to go if you want to be as good as golf as I am. Please go to their shop and buy online. It's Walker Golf Things or walkergolfthings.com, and that's about it for me.
Provide Picks 15% off. That's it. Signing off. That's it.
Righto, let's go.
Let's do it. Thank you for watching. As always.
Yeah, and go and get. Well done. Oh, fuck, I missed my cue. I didn't listen to it. Whether fighting or spitting, my discipline is unforgiving. I got you backing up in the defensive position. An ass-kicking anthem, a heavyweight anthem, holding cans for ransom, a microphone anthem. John Cena WWE theme song.